Thank you for listening to my Postdoc Transformation show. Maybe you want to leap out of science and start your own side business as a runway for your better future? Then you will benefit from my free business preparation quiz as linked in the show notes. If you want to organize your marketing and selling efforts, please also subscribe to my new video podcast show, Creating Reorganized. I share my tricks from creating this show, speak with business owners who run a podcast for their business, and learn from podcasting service providers about their tools boosting our businesses. My new video podcast show, Creating Reorganized, will also be a living example of applied industrial and occupational psychology for my students in real life. And now, let's get to this episode. Postdoc Transformation. Postdoc Transformation. Postdoc Transformation. Invest in your postdoc transformation. Welcome to the seasonal show for scientists leaping into business. In every sponsored episode, we are happy to recommend employers of choice for you. Make sure to check your readiness to leap out of science with us for free, as linked in the show notes. For your career transition, we offer customized career transition e-courses and memberships also at graduate schools all over the world. Maybe yours too. And if your university isn't yet our customer, enroll in your free email course for career transition made simple, as linked in the show notes. I'm your host, Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, with my team who is rooting for you. And let's build your postdoc transformation with this episode. Welcome back, dear postdoc transformer. Today, I want to address a question from listeners via DM and social media, but also was inspired by my own students in real life, because their sentiment was like, you are so focusing on teaching us how important AI is, but now we actually feel defeated and powerless compared to AI, even before entering the business world. All right, that is important feedback. Tell me, have you ever sat down at your computer, at your desk, and just felt this wave of pressure? Like, the world is moving faster than you can process. Everyone is talking about AI, obviously me, machine learning, automation, and you're just thinking here, I did not study IT. Am I studying the wrong discipline? Wait, the stuff that I study and already know, is that still relevant? And maybe you're thinking, like my students, should I stop learning how to analyze and reorganize work when AI can do this? Should I even learn how to conduct workshops and meetings to amplify human skills, knowledge, and solutions for new services and products for human customers, to transform and lead people toward company goals, because that is essentially the role of HR? And then start learning how to use AI and what may come instead. Well, admittedly, I have focused many episodes on AI and the future of work because my students in real life, and maybe you too, aren't necessarily the tech-affine people shouting AI, woohoo, let's go. And that's why I felt it was my responsibility to bring that to your table. But AI is just one half of the coin. The other half is really, you will also be hired and, more importantly, preferred and kept at the workplace when you are a reliable and valuable team member and a leader. Today, I want to share this episode, Human Skills That Matter More Than Mastering AI, with a very honest and very clear message. You are not behind, you are not obsolete, and you absolutely do not have to become a tech expert in AI to be irreplaceable. I just want you to use AI in your vicinity, in your discipline, to be a better leader, to be a better expert. So what do you need? Human skills, the kind that cannot be automated, outsourced, or reduced to lines of code. So today we're going to focus on exactly that, the human skills that make you not only employable, but also irresistible in an AI-driven world. And best of all, we're going to be thinking of how you can train these human skills. And just a secret, you can train these skills already when you are attending and preparing your lectures as a student, or even as the educator depending on your current role. Because actually, this is what I'm doing, right? I'm a professor for industrial and occupational psychology, but I train and showcase all of these human skills, hopefully in a way that you can find an example in there. I'm not perfect, but as you can see, I'm trying to improve myself. So to be honest, as a psychologist, these human skills are also very much driven by personality. And while you were born with a personality, you can actively shape it to some extent, at least, if you want to. I have to say, shaping is best in your childhood. And this is also my own trigger for segment number 6. So keep listening if you're also a parent or plan to be one in your vision of life. Let's go. Hey, before we continue, we want to appreciate those who finance this valuable episode for you. I want to share with you my best marketing agent. Serving my underprivileged, underrepresented, and underserved audience, leads and clients is key for me as an Asian working mom, business owner, and professor in Germany. But I can't be marketing and selling all the time, and I have to be mindful with my own resources. So I chose Podbean as my podcasting host and monetizing provider. I'm on the Unlimited Plus plan for our PostdocTransformation show and Creating Reorganized show. With Podbean, your audience can inclusively listen and watch your podcast according to their visual and auditive needs. You can also embed your customized podcast player on your external website or use one of the beautiful website templates. You can easily share your podcast on all major podcasting directories, which allow you to reach a huge audience on their favorite devices in their countries. Podbean also has an ads marketplace, and you can easily attract and manage sponsors for dynamic ads, which are played out depending on your audience criteria. This way, you can serve your audience for free. Some of them become your clients eventually, but your advertising sponsors independently support you financially in each episode. You will see insightful stats per demographic and which episodes attracted most listeners, so you can tailor your future episodes for your leads and clients and present suitable external ads. If you want to try out Podbean for your own podcasting, DM or email me Podbean so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Podbean link. After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. Segment number 1, the trap of tech panic. All right, so let's name the elephant in the room, tech panic. That feeling that if you're not building GPT plugins, writing Python scripts, or training neural networks, then you'll never get a job outside of academia. Yeah, I think it's beneficial if you can do that. I think that there is also room for not so techy, but capitalizing on AI roles, so to speak. I love tech, okay? I've worked in IT strategy at Accenture, and I am fascinated by AI. Sorry, that's me. But you don't have to be my mini-me, which is totally fine. To be honest, my 2 video podcasts are my legacy for how I teach as a professor, as a working mom, and a woman capitalizing on technology. I really want to be a different kind of role model for those who resonate with these topics. But if technology, entrepreneurship, career, and family is not for you, then I just want you to determine your own future of work if you are my student in real life. And if you are a scientist leaping into business, I want you to own your postdoc transformation. So as a foundation, this is what I have noticed. My students have often asked me, are there any tools that you can recommend that I should learn to prepare best? And I often say, tools come and go, but you have to develop your own sharp thinking for how to use those tools, right? So there's an old saying, and I often share that in my own lectures, a fool with a tool is still a fool, right? So a fool with a tool is still a fool. If you don't know how to use that tool, then probably you're not going to be using it right anyway. So rather than trying to find the best tool, try to sharpen your own critical thinking. Many PhDs and maybe also even my bachelor and master students are sprinting to learn the next tool while ignoring the fact that employers actually are starving for a different kind of skill. Why? Because let me ask you this. Who can deliver a project update in a high-stakes meeting with diplomacy and clarity? A human leader or AI? Can AI tell a junior colleague they're off track in a way that motivates instead of demoralizes them? Can AI lead a conflicted team to consensus, not just through logic, but also empathy? I would say AI cannot do that yet. Maybe in the future. When I see the teenagers of today turning towards AI friends and companions to fill the void they may experience being isolated, when everyone in the schoolyard and at home is connected with social media, but not with the people in their vicinity. Okay, so loneliness is really a huge thing among young people in Germany. So that means they crave social connectedness. They don't get it by humans, so they turn to AI. And that is where I think that there is a huge risk. This is the expectation that you as a human leader will have to also fulfill this 24/7 availability of AI. And don't get me wrong, I don't think that AI cannot be helpful. It can. It's rather incomplete right now. At the moment, it can assist, but it cannot lead for now. It can predict, but it cannot connect yet in a way that humans crave. It can analyze, but it cannot inspire yet. And I already told my own students in real life, whoever wants to become a leader in the workplace must be a better leader than AI, because AI is already a better leader for all the team members who have already suffered from toxic and incompetent human leaders. I'm sorry I have to tell that, but there are many bad human leaders in academia and in business. The only advantage that you have in business is that you have a better selection of available leaders. There are more employers for similar job roles. And if you want to resign, you can work for some other company or someone else one day. So additionally to keeping up with AI is relevant to your career, like in your vicinity of your expertise, I want you to center yourself also in something deeper that is more human. And that brings me to a personal story. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. And once you have determined your readiness to leap and want to transition into business or industries, then you can enroll in your free email course with 10 actionable, bingeable email lessons until you start your job in business. You'll get 10 emails like this. Number 1, how to leap out of science. Number 2, how to build your sustainable LinkedIn profile. Number 3, how to read social media and network. Number 4, how to research your favorite jobs and employers. Number 5, how to do informational interviews to get insights. Number 6, how to create your customized applications with ChatGPT. Number 7, how to prepare your thesis from a business point of view. Number 8, how to apply to your favorite employers. Number 9, how to choose the right job offer. Number 10, how to prepare for your new job. And did you know that we offer deep dive e-course workshops and memberships at graduate schools, maybe also at yours in the future? Ask your graduate school coordinator whether they want to book my services so that I can deliver them to you 24/7, 365 on your mobile device. And even better, if you get us paid by your grad school, we will pay you 50% recurring sales commissions. So you will earn money with us as we help you and your PhD besties to transition into business. We can build a postdoc transformation together. Woohoo! Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. So segment number 2 is story time, from smart to trusted. So let's go back to my own consulting days at Accenture. I was working on site of a client in a consulting team. Some colleagues were senior and some were on the same level. We all worked very hard, and one day there was a huge budget cut, and the client announced whose contracts would be stopped immediately and who would be allowed to stay in the project. And guess who was the only one person to stay? Ta-da! Me. When the client announced the decisions, my senior managers, my peers, and I were surprised, to say the least. I actually was shocked. So why did the client choose me? At that time, I didn't even know what would unfold, but I already knew that I would be alone on the floor, so to speak. Here's what I learned. People do not follow the smartest idea or the person with the biggest title or power. They follow the person they trust. That was a really hard lesson for everyone. And I remained a solo consultant at that client side for 18 months or so. But that's another story, how you can survive, so to speak. So the message for this episode really is, it was my way of working that led to the decision to keep me on board. Even though my role was IT strategy consultant, I tried to work and support like a psychologist, helping my clients so that they can help themselves and develop organizationally, organically from within to become independent from me. So I asked better questions. I started to let them do more, trusting them that they have learned enough from me. I follow up, but also acknowledge their growth. And I admitted when I didn't know something, but I was committed to find out and share how I learned the insights they need. I taught them how to catch the fish instead of handing over the fish to them. So I became a person they could rely on. And to be honest, one of the client team members even asked me to switch sides to become their team lead, which I declined because at that time I was very happy at Accenture. I took it as the evidence that they trusted me. So now, admittedly, this is a story way before AI entered the workplace. But humans at the workplace have human needs, and they need to trust the leader, team member, service, or product provider. Our human brain craves emotional connection with other humans, not with machines. Even if there is a void, you still can make a difference for them. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. Remember, you are a postdoc transformer. You are highly intelligent, well-educated, a bachelor, master, and maybe you have already your doctor under your belt, or you are a postdoc. You are internationally experienced, fluent in English, a leader and expert in your prior research field. You're resilient, brilliant in adaptation and problem solving. You are eager to bring in the transferable and monetizable skills needed in many companies to embrace the future and to become or remain an innovator in their markets. Hey, postdoc transformer, are you curious to ask professors, principal investigators, visiting scientists, postdocs, PhD students, and candidates some in-depth life and career guiding questions? But it feels cringe, so you end up not asking? Buy our postdoc transformation card game to have more fun and valuable insights in your journal club, lab, and mentoring meetings, lab rotations, during conferences, panels, and breaks at the Mensa. You'll get 10 intriguing mentoring questions per career level. So 10 for PhD students, 10 for postdocs, 10 for professors, 10 for parental scientists, underprivileged and underrepresented and underserved scientists. Check them out with our discount coupon on the Postdoc Transformation shop, linked on postdoctransformation.com. Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. I always saw myself as a people developer, but you have to have people that you can develop, right? And that is where the leader comes into place. I always had people who wanted to work with me, who wanted to work for me because they know that I trust them and I treat them well. That extends to my classroom as a professor, but it also extends to social media and virtual or digital ways of working, right? So a lot of the people who want to be in my vicinity don't know me, but still they can trust me that I deliver whatever I promise. And that also extends to my own video podcasting for my PostdocTransformation show, and also for creating Reorganize for the small business owner who wants to market and sell sustainably. I have collaborations, and I usually meet the collaborators only online. A lot of the skills that I deploy are truly technical skills, but I think that what attracts people to my personal brand is really my human skill set. So essentially, as a human, I strategically determine technical skills I learn and deploy for all my various projects. Like I said, as a mom picking up my kids right after school and working as a professor in part-time during their school time, I really don't have a lot of time for my podcast. Technology and also AI are tools that I embrace to amplify my human impact and fulfill my purpose for all my students and you, so I can spend enough time with my children. And that is the overall purpose. And that joy is what I want for you working in a team and maybe even one day leading your own team. And the human skills that you need for that are the following. And that is the leeway to segment number 3. Let me introduce you to a model that changed the way I understand teamwork, because I'm not a born team player. I'm a very happy solo contributor, but I absolutely understand that I have not everything that is needed to succeed. That is when I team up, and I have learned how to be good as a team player. Why? Because of the following. So, Patrick Lencioni's 5 dysfunctions of a team are usually depicted as a pyramid. And at the very bottom, there is trust. It's not talent, it's not intelligence, it's not a technical skill, it's trust. And without trust, teams fall apart, even brilliant ones. With trust, you can resolve conflict, that's the next layer. Then you are committed, that's the next layer. You can be accountable, that's the next layer. And then you have results. Without trust, you are not getting through all of these layers to results. And here's what it means in your day-to-day. If you do not reply to your committed work communications promptly, trust suffers. Use the communication tools your company or university has chosen and provides. If you do not clarify instructions and you don't understand them, do whatever you think is okay, but it's not. Trust breaks, and that goes both ways. As a team member, make sure you understand your assignment. As a leader, make sure your team members understand their assignment, because it could be that they are too shy to ask. Do not assume that everyone is on the same page. Ask and clarify. That is the leader's task. If you are disorganized, miss meetings, come late to the workplace, or ghost teammates, if you don't show up ready to contribute in valuable ways, trust erodes. And that is really also a tell sign for lacking self-discipline. You are setting an example for bad morale in the team. You clearly show you are not ready to be a leader yet. You're not reliable and lose your peers and team members' trust. And when trust erodes, no one cares how smart you are. That is maybe even in starker contrast the more you are proud about your PhD. Let's pause for a moment to respect those who sponsor this valuable episode. I want to share with you my time and energy saver. As a professor for industrial and occupational psychology, I also teach about the future of work, and as a former IT strategy consultant, of course, I embrace AI to be a future-proof podcast producer of the PostdocTransformation show and the Creating Reorganized show. Descript is the video and audio podcast editing tool of my choice.
I pay for their creator plan, and it's worth every dollar. Descript comes with an integrated professional remote recording studio for the best audio quality for your guests and you. For example, I record an hour interview with a guest or a solo, and instead of painstakingly doing a rough cut and deleting all the ums and ahs and filler words and rambling around, which I did for hours, I now click on Descript's AI, editing for clarity, and my rough cut is done in seconds or a minute. For fine-tuning, I edit text instead of audio waves, and I just insert all my pre-recorded music, intro, ads, and outro, like this one, in a matter of minutes. I can then easily export closed captions, fine-tune AI-driven summaries, chapter markers, and titles, which I feed into my show notes and podcast host. Descript even suggests the best clips for social media, and their video editor automatically includes the synchronized speakers, cameras, and audio captions. I can also include stock graphics or pre-recorded videos. You can find our short-form examples on our Instagram and TikTok at PostdocTransformation. If you want to try out Descript for your own podcast editing, DM or email me, Descript, so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my Descript link.
Thanking our advertisers for their financial support, we are happy to return to our inspiring episode. So let's talk about the 6 human skills that build trust every single day. And it's an ongoing commitment. Number 1, be reliable. This sounds boring, but it is everything. You have to be consistent, reliable. Show up on time. That is a sign of respect for the humans at your workplace and their family and friends, because they don't want to wait because you all have to work overtime because you were not there at the scheduled time, right? They are not available 24/7, 365 like AI. So you better be on time and respect their time. And to be honest, this is something that I also see eroding in today's students. In 95% of my times when I lecture, I am in my classroom early on time, ready to lecture. So when I am in my classroom for 8:30 a.m., I woke up early enough to provide breakfast and lunch boxes for my family. I gave a ride to school for one of my kids. I drove 45 minutes by car to university. And then I am personally surprised by some of my students who do not show up on time. And they come in either, 1 hour or 2 hours delay or not at all. I mean, they don't have to impress me. I understand that. But I would guess that if these students normalize being late, then it's harder for them to show up on time for their own work, right? Because that is sort of like a habit they're building. Keep your own calendar up to date. There is IT to help you sync and book at reserved time windows. I totally understand human-driven surprising time conflicts. I understand that children are sick, people are sick. There are things that come as a surprise. But to reduce these kinds of surprises, I use technology. I inform waiting people as soon as possible. I apologize if I have failed to show up ready in a scheduled meeting. I also apologize to my own children because I want to set an example. Human leaders can make a mistake, but they have to own it, and they have to make sure that they do better next time. The next point, deliver on time and communicate early. I always tell my team, I can only save you if I trust you that you made everything possible, but now you need my help. Of course, I will help you, but flag for help as soon as possible. So this way, and only this way, I can turn the ship around before we hit the iceberg. If I'm that close to the iceberg, then chances are really high that I have nothing else that I can do. If you tell me in advance, then I can find another way. I can pull backwards, change the direction, or whatever. And again, you can use AI to sort your emails, to inform people on your calendar about unexpected changes. essentially the intention to inform in time with what kind of message must come from you. That's the human intention. Tech can only execute on your behalf. Reliability is stability, and people crave it. As AI is already a huge competitor for all the mediocre and bad team members who are not reliable. So here's your actionable prompt. What school grade would you honestly give yourself for being reliable? In what area are you least reliable but want to improve? Identify 3 examples of how you can commit to be more reliable than today, and let the other people know that you will be more reliable for them in the future so that they can take notice and provide feedback on your progress. All right, the human skill number 2 is to be trustworthy. Being trustworthy does not mean being perfect. It means you do not gossip, you don't waste time, you manage resources as if they were your own. Give credit to contributions of your team members, your clients, your leaders. You do not steal the credit from them and make your team and leaders look bad. Like I said already, you own your errors, your mistakes. It's how you learn and master. Of course you do mistakes. If you do not make mistakes, you are probably overqualified, and that is your leader's fault. Let's assume your leader assigned a growth opportunity for you to learn, then you must expect yourself to be failing as well. Fail fast and learn how to make it better. Share your insights to guide others a couple of steps behind you. That shows your true leadership potential and makes people feel safe around you. Safe people are collaborative people. They want to work with you. They are more inclined to follow you if you become a leader. So here's the actionable prompt. What school grade are you assigning yourself for being trustworthy? Identify 3 examples of how you can commit to be more trustworthy than today. And again, let the others know that you will become more trustworthy for them. Same game. Hey, before we continue, we want to appreciate those who finance this valuable episode for you.
I want to share with you my number 1 lead generator, and you can start that even without a podcast. It's Typeform, and I use them to create free quizzes with open questions and multiple choice answers. I also predefine mandatory answers so I can qualify and score leads, collect their email addresses for later nurturing. I can brand my quizzes, for example, my Check Your Readiness to Leap Out of Science quiz, with my audio and video files, so this way I can share specific podcast episodes or other information based on their answers, and then automatically send them an email after submitting the quiz. I even included a calendar invite for those leads who qualify specifically. So now I can help everyone on the surface for free and divert my valuable time only to my high-ticket leads on a deep level. I collect all the data automatically after my initial setup, as I have also integrated it with my remaining tech stack. If you want to try out Typeform for your own lead generation and qualification, DM or email me Typeform so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. I only get a small financial reward if you become the customer using my Typeform link.
After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. Okay, number 3, ask clarifying questions. Never be afraid to say, just to make sure I got this right, can I confirm the deadline and format? Clarifying is not weakness, it's strength. It shows that you care about accuracy, and good questions are around why, what, when, how. You must understand what the key performance indicators are and how you can fulfill them. You need to be ready to report on the status quo spontaneously and in regular meetings. You need to control your key performance indicators, and you also need to flag a deviance like 20% or so. The sooner and less mess there is to clean for me as a leader, the better you work as a team member for me. And here's your actionable prompt. What school grade would you give yourself for clarifying before starting your assignment? What hinders you to ask? What would support you to ask? Because maybe you're too shy, you don't know how to ask for your next assignment, especially in the study context. Find out whether you have all the information provided by your educator. I am very often badly surprised how rarely my instructions are downloaded before the lecture begins. Very often, I provide time for my students to download and read the instructions, and then I have to postpone the time window for asking clarifying questions to the next lecture because I know that they have not read my instructions. This should not happen. Students should capitalize on preparation if possible. Human skill number 4, get organized. Okay, physically and digitally. In the working setup, if your desktop looks like a digital tornado, it's time to declutter. Use clear file names. Keep your documents where others can access them. Avoid 27 versions of final, number 2, whatever, without a name or so. The way you organize things shows that you can think beyond yourself for your team, for your future self, and for your collaborators. It's a sign of your own management skills. Maybe you only have one project at your desk right now, fine. But imagine later in your adulthood, as a parent, as a leader, you will have multiple projects in multiple progress stages, and you have a similar project every quarter or half year or something like that. If you don't document how you do that, you will lose precious time reinventing the wheel every time you revisit the messy project. I'm often amused to see students not using a very clear naming convention, and maybe that is the IT person mindset that I have. I always use unique identifiers like ESW, my initials, PT for PostdocTransformation, CR for creating reorganized, something like that. If I were a student, I would also use my student number, the year, the month, the date. This way, you can find all the things better. So here's your actionable prompt. Can you analyze and reorganize your file naming convention at least? Number 5, follow up like a leader. Follow up is not pushy. It's professional. After a meeting, send a summary. And to be honest, AI companions are taking part in online meetings already. So that is done automatically. But in settings without AI, this is the task of the team members to show future leadership skills. It's not the task of a leader to keep notes. If you want something from me, you need to follow up because I have a lot of other things on my plate as well. So in worst case, of course, your leader can remind you on your task. If needed, I do that. If so, your chances to stay on board after your probation time are really decreasing, to be honest. After a job interview, send a personalized, summarizing thank you note that underlines your wish to be hired. Even if the recruiter won't follow up, you make a positive and outstanding impression. If you use AI for that, make sure you humanize and individualize the draft. I get a lot of AI written contact requests or whatever, and I can see how much work had been put behind that or not. After a collaboration offer, check in after a week. Unless you can afford to drop the ball, you have to follow up. People have a lot of things on their plate you don't know. If you want to get the deal, you have to be following up. No one else will do. However, if you are contacted for something not in your lane, say politely no, but leave room for future collaborations. You will never know whether in the future you will maybe need someone like that, not right now. So this way you can become the person who keeps momentum going and who solves problems. So here's the actionable prompt. Look back to your most recent and ongoing projects have you dropped the ball? Do you see any loose ends that you should tie before starting the next project? Think of it like you always meet twice or more. So if you ever want a recommendation or a favor or, something from that person in your future, make sure today that you make an outstanding impression as a problem solver. You do not want to be the liability factor here. Hey, before we continue, we want to appreciate those who finance this valuable episode for you.
So far, you have learned all my favorite marketing and sales tools. Now, how can you bring all the data from your audience, leads, and clients together so you can serve them on a value ladder and for the long term? Even after multiple touchpoints with you, you want to remain on their mind for when they are ready to buy your service or product. I'm expanding my digital business, and I use ActiveCampaign as the centerpiece of all my services like email course, podcast, newsletter, show notes, website, sales page, merch shop, forms, whatever it is, as needed. As a former IT strategy consultant, I have high requirements on my tech stack, and ActiveCampaign offers so many integrations to all my other apps. I use it daily. If you want to create your own digital business with the various AI-driven lead magnets and funnel options, DM or email me, ActiveCampaign, so I can share my experience and consult you. Please check it out via my link in the show notes. Again, I only get a small financial reward if you become their customer using my ActiveCampaign link.
After this quick appreciation of our sponsors, we are now back in our insightful episode. And that leads me to the sixth point, which is be results driven. Before you dive into tasks, you have to ask yourself, what does success look like? What problems are you solving? This helps you prioritize, helps your team focus, and makes your work meaningful. Like in soccer, you can be the goal-getter or striker or the goalie, the strategic midfield, or play in the defense. Either way, you need to understand which position you are currently playing and what key actions you need to do to be a good team player. Maybe you know Philipp Lahm, who played a pivotal role in the German national soccer team, 2014. He is one of the most versatile left and right wing defenders, even defensive midfield, and rightfully became the captain for the World Soccer Tournament 2014 in the German national team because of his human skills and qualities as well. He prefers to play a certain position, but because he can play well with both feet, depending on the team structure, the team coaches often ask him to play on less preferred positions, which were more valuable for the team. Now, here's the thing. He always served well without hesitation. And this really makes him a valuable player because he is able to control his ego. Here's your actionable prompt. For your own ongoing or next projects, can you imagine to be a better team player in order to be more effective and efficient in getting your results?
Have you found this episode so far helpful for yourself? Well, maybe you can subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, or wherever you get our show. And also share this episode with your PhD bestie because that would encourage us to help the underprivileged, underrepresented, and underserved early career scientists leaping into business. This would also ensure that you don't miss a future episode. Also, our subscription and listening numbers are key for finding the right sponsors for our show so that we can help you for free. And now, back to the show.
All right, segment number 5. Let's land this why human skills are your success factor. So maybe you're thinking, what's the point of all of this? Well, it's not about being less technical. It's not about ignoring AI. It's about integrating the tools while doubling down on what makes you irreplaceably human. You can learn the latest app. Wow. You can automate part of your workflow. Even better. But at the core, your career won't be defined by your tools. It will be defined by your trustworthiness, your clarity, your intentionality, and your presence. You can be the reason a team works well. You can be the person who makes others feel capable. That matters more than any automation or AI. So how can you make a difference in the age of AI? Let me know if you want a checklist for above points. Essentially, you need to focus on how to become the trusted go-to person who knows how to work with AI. All right, and that is my keyword for segment number 6, like I told you. I also have a parental task now. Can you choose and maybe even add your own desirable and improvable human skills? I mean, you know yourself best, right? So chances are that you would also add something else to the 6 human skills that make you irresistible and irreplaceable. Can you create a side project? Ask an AI of your choice how it would build an AI agent for you to train those skills. And then you can adapt the relevant examples, because honestly, I addressed a bachelor master student or even an early PhD student in this episode. But I'm currently thinking of building an AI agent together with my own younger children. Hence, the agent's questions and answers need to be relatable for their age, and obviously in German, so that they can resonate. Find the best no-code or low-code AI builder, and maybe even ask AI to help you code. And thus, you will learn how to code as well. Try it out and share your results with me. Think of how you can learn using AI in a meaningful way to make your own life better according to your vision of life. Okay? So taken together, it's now your turn. If you don't have time for a side project like that, at least pinpoint one human skill you want to strengthen in the next 7 days. Write it down. Set a small challenge for yourself. Tell at least someone. Post it on LinkedIn or wherever you want. Remember, you're not falling behind. As you are listening already to this episode, you are working on yourself to become future ready. So thank you for investing into yourself by listening to this Postdoc Transformation Show. If you found this episode helpful, please rate and review our Postdoc Transformation Show, writing how helpful it is to you, because this is how the algorithm on your podcast players will suggest our show to more people like you. And if this episode is your first, please also listen to our mini-series, episode 56 to 60, and the More AI Future of Work Standard episodes 61 to 63. Until the next episode, build your postdoc transformation according to your vision of life.
Do you want a transcript of our episode? Click on our links in our show notes and on our website, www.postdoctransformation.com. Remember to check your readiness to leap out of science and to enroll in our free email course, Career Transition Made Simple. Thanks for your attention. I'm Professor Dr. Eleonore Soei-Winkels, the host of your seasonal Postdoc Transformation Show.
Postdoc Transformation.